Happy day, welcome to the M.O.P classroom. Today I am going to introduce you about the business model canvas. Myself Dr. Anitha by T, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, MBA. So today the content flow will be, I will be introducing the business canvas model to you, then 9 pillars of business model canvas. We will see two case studies, one is in Indian context and one is about the global context, then we will summarize and we will wind up. Let me introduce the business canvas model to you. The business canvas model is developed by Alexander Osterwald. It is part of his PhD thesis. So what he thought is, why people are running behind the business plan, all those things. So why not make it a visual representation of the whole business concept. So he created the one pager. It is like a business model canvas. All the business components will be in one page, easy to understand, easy to iterate and easy to deliver. So this is the business canvas model. If you see, it is visual, intuitive and encourage collaboration. It is a iterative process, it is not static. Alexander defined the business model canvas as the rationale of how an organization creates, delivers and captures value. If you see the 9 elements of the business canvas model, we can see how a business is going to deliver or create and also capture the value of the business. So let us see the 9 blocks of the business canvas model. We start with the value proposition, then we move on to the key resources, key activities, key partnership, then customer segments, channels, customer relationship, revenue streams and cost structure. We will see one by one what it is. This is the business model canvas which created by Alexander. He plotted the 9 elements in this canvas. So if you see the canvas itself, the central part of the canvas is about the value proposition. So which is very crucial in any business. If a person is very clear about what value he is going to give it to the customer, then that defines the whole thing. If a person is not clear about what is the value he is going to give it to the customer, then even though his all the other things is very good, he is not going to succeed in the business. So let us move on to what are the different pillars. We will see with examples. The first, as I said, which is very important part of any business, the value proposition. So why will customers choose you and what unique value do you offer? Whether it is innovative product or whether it is performance, whether it is customization, it is affordability, whatever things you think the value which you are going to give it to a customer is about the value proposition. For example, if you say take Spotify, you don't need to download songs to listen to it. So Spotify revolutionized the music industry. Next is about the key partnership. To run your business, who are all the different partners will help you to run your business? People like strategic alliances, joint ventures or suppliers. Whoever is very essential part of your business. To run your business, you need their support. Without their support, you won't be able to run your business. For example, Swiggy partner with restaurants, delivery agents and also payment gateways to run their business. Key activities. If you see the key activity, what are the most important things you do? So it may be a software development, it may be manufacturing, it may be creating brand identity, whatever the activity you do for your business. So which defines your business, which help you in creating value for your customer. So for example, Amazon. For Amazon, fulfilling orders quickly and efficiently is the main activity they do. Then if you say YouTube, it is uploading, recommending and moderating the content is their main activity of their business. Key resources. What are the assets essential to create value? So it can be a personnel, it can be finance, it can be buildings, whatever the physical aspects, intellectual aspects, what are the different aspects which is essential to create value, like to manufacturing, for creating all these things, what are the different resources you need? So for example, Airbnb relies heavily on its online platform and user community. So we may all know that Airbnb is not having any ownership of any of the properties. So they run on the rental model or partnership model. So that helps them to run their business. Customer segment is a very important part of any of the business. For a founder, for a businessman, they need to be very clear about whom they are targeting. Why? Because If you are not clear about whom you are targeting, whom you are going to serve, then creating the product in that line is not going to help you. So, who are your customers? It can be based on segmentation, can be based on demographic, geographic, psychographic and behavioral variables. For example, Amazon targets both consumers and third party sellers. Consumers for their online platform to buy from them, and third party sellers to sell in their platform so that the customer can come and buy. So, it is a meeting point of consumers and the third party sellers. TikTok, for example, it targets Gen Z and millennials. Next, we are going to see the channels, how we are going to reach the customer. So, you see how do you deliver the value to your customer? Your customer may be across globe. So, how you are going to target both to deliver your value and also to give awareness about your product to the customer. So, it can be through direct or indirect, physical or digital channels such as retail stores, websites, mobile applications or partner networks. For example, Apple sells via website, Apple stores and retail partners. Customer relationship. If you are not maintaining the relationship with your customer, you are not going to succeed. One time buyer is not the deciding factor for your business. A repeated customer is the main aspect of your success for the business. So, when you see how do you interact with your customer, how do you are engaged with your customer is very important part of any business, whether it is online business, whether it is retail business, whatever the business model may be. But maintaining the customer relationship is very important. So, how we do it? We do through personal assistance, self-services, communities or automation. For example, Amazon uses automated and personalized recommendations to enhance customer relationship. If you buy any product from Amazon platform, you may see the recommendation. The people who bought this also bought this, all these things, and according to your preference, search preference, they will send you details or informations about the product which is newly available. So, then comes the important part of your business, how you are going to make the revenue and how you are going to make profit. So, unless otherwise you are not clear about how you are going to make this, your business is into downfall. So, clear about the revenue, how you are going to generate revenue. It can be through product sales, subscription fees, rentals, licensing or advertising. Given the online platforms, lot of business into online, their business model is very unique how they generate revenue. For example, Netflix earns through monthly subscription, and if you take Google, through advertising. The last part of our whole 9 pillars, cost structure. What are the different costs you will incur to run your business? So, whether it is giving salary to the people or to buy products or raw materials, anything as that part. It can be through fixed and variable cost, economies of scale and scope. So, what are the different costs? Even you need to plot the cost structure clearly, otherwise you will end up in surprising yourself. So, example, a SaaS business has high upfront because they are creating the software, but later when the marginal cost will be per user, so it will be lower. So, the upfront cost of any software product will be higher. Then if you see local bakery, they might be having major cost ingredients, rents and staff will be the major cost. So, they need to plot what are the different costs they will incur during their business or to run their business. Let us dive into the first case study, which is Swiggy. How Swiggy is running their business. So, if you see the customer segment of Swiggy, we all know the urban professionals, students, households. We can't think a life without Swiggy. So, let us see value proposition. What are the value proposition they are giving? Fast, reliable and diverse food delivery system. Before Swiggy, we need to go to hotels, we need to get booking, travel, everything will be there. But now at the comfort of your home, you can get food. Customer relationship. How Swiggy is maintaining the customer relationship? Through personalized loyalty programs, personalized offers and also in-app support. Then revenue stream. How they create revenue, how they generate revenue? It is through delivery charges, restaurant commissions, search pricing during peak hours and also advertising. Then key resources. What are the key resources they need? Technology platform to run their business, brand equity, they are creating the brand equity, delivery personnel and also the restaurant network to connect with the network to have them on board. Then key activities. What are the key activities they do? Logistic management, app maintenance and partner onboarding. Partner onboarding is very important. How many partners are onboarded into their platform, more number of customers will come. Key partnership, they have partnership with restaurants, cloud kitchens and payment processors. The cost structure, what are the costs they will incur? Their cost will be rider incentives, technology development, marketing and operations. Let us move on to the next case study, which is a global one, which is Canva. You all might have come across Canva. If you want to create posters, if you want to create any invitation, you will be using Canva. So, it democratized the designing process. So, their customer segment are freelancers, educators, marketers, students and small businesses. If you see the value proposition, intuitive designing tool and also the cloud based tool which is very updated and people can create. So, it is a important thing is accessible to non designers, that is one aspect very important about the Canva. If you see the channels through websites and mobile applications, customer relationship, how they are engaging with the customer, it is through community engagement. We are having Canva community and also knowledge resource and responsive support. Revenue streams, how they generate revenue through freemium model, because to some extent it is freemium. So, premium subscriptions, enterprise licensing. Enterprise licensing, the business can take the Canva and it can be given to their employees. So, key resources, what are the key resources? Design library, cloud infrastructure and user data. So, a design library is one of the wonderful aspect where you have ample number of design elements so that you can create. Then what are the key activities they do? Product development, content curation and platform maintenance. About the key partnership, if you see they are having image banks, tech infrastructure providers and payment gateways. Cost structure, what are the main costs they will incur? One is about the personnel for the management of the business, server infrastructure and also content licensing. For having design library, we need to get the licensing from the people who are designing it, and obviously content licensing is one of the main cost for their business. Now, you might have get a pretty much a clear picture of how a business canvas model is applied to the different businesses. Now, let us see the common pitfalls one might come across when they create the business model Canva. So, they will be very too generic. If you see, each block should be very specific to your business. If you are generalizing the different pillars, different components, it will dilute the whole process. So, be specific in creating the block, each block. Then treating the Canva as a static one. It is not a static one. You create the business model Canva once and for all, leave it, that will be helpful in all the businesses. No. If you are creating the business model Canva, it should be iterative. So, it should include what are the changes happening in the society. You need to come back to the board and update the whole process. Then about ignoring the customer feedback. If they are not getting the feedback of the customer and if they are not updating the customer feedback to their business, they are not going to succeed, because customer taste and preference changes. So, accordingly you also need to update your business. The last one is validate assumptions. You need to validate whatever the assumptions you are having before entering into the business. What are the best practices when you are going to create the business model Canva? The first one is value proposition. Always start your business model Canva with the value proposition. What value you are going to give it to your customer. Unless otherwise you are not clear about this, all other pillars are not going to help you. So, start the business Canva model with the value proposition. The next is diverse team members. If you are involving diverse team members in creating the business model Canva, it will be more valid, because diverse informations will get into the process and you can create a worthy business model Canva. The next one is support entries with empirical data. Always have a clarity about data and also it should be empirical. The next is treat the Canva as a living document. When we see the common pitfall, we saw that it should not treat it as a static one. Treat the business Canva model as a living element. So, it will get updated according to the changes happening. The last one is always revisit and refine the business Canva model, because when you start the business you might have plotted it very well, but accordingly different changes might have happened in the environment, and if you are not updating that into the business model Canva, it is not going to be a full-fledged one. So, always or regularly revisit and refine your business Canva model. Let us recap what we have learned today. The business canvas model helps visualize the entire structure of a business. It is having 9 elements, essential elements, and it is powerful tool for analysis, ideation and communication. Let us end the session with a reflective assignment. Choose a business of your choice. It can be a local company or a global company or your own startup idea. Map the business model Canva for it and answer the following questions. What are the key strengths of your business? What could be improved in the business? How would the model change if it entered a new market? The result might be very interesting. Upload your canvas in the discussion forum and share your analysis. Thank you for watching this. Hope you are all clear about what the business model Canva, and you will be applying this concept into your own business idea. Thank you for watching. For more such videos, like, share and subscribe the M.O.P classroom.